copyright infringement or anything. And we're live. There we go. Welcome everybody. Sunday football. I am particularly happy because unrelated to football, Hamilton won again, back to back. So to all the F1
Nice. Where was the
fans,
race today?
Qatar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
Cool.
then two more races to go. 8 point difference between the top leader, so it's crazy. And there's a possibility that after next race in Saudi Arabia, they could actually go into the last race completely tied.
Wow.
It's a mess.
What happens if there's a tie in F1? Not to make this an F1 stream, but I'd like to know.
So technically, I saw that if they do tie in points, Max would be leading because he's won more races.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like that would be the tiebreaker. That would be kind of annoying though, but
It'd be
anything can
kind of
happen.
cool if they did like a 1v1
Yeah.
race. That'd be so sick.
Just like drag race, like Need for Speed.
Yeah,
Just max speed. Let's
exactly
go.
the entire way. That'd be cool.
That'd be
Like
really funny.
3 laps or something, like side by side, like in a circle.
Yeah.
That'd be great. That'd be crazy.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. All right. Well, let's get into NFL. I'm just gonna take my glasses off because they're annoying. We have a lot of good games today. You have the spread there, so let's just dive right
Yes,
in
sir.
it, and we'll
Yeah,
keep on adding our spreads at the bottom.
sure. So we were talking about this before we came on stream. The spreads are like changing by the moment almost, depending on who's in, who's out, all that kind of stuff where the money's moving. So we'll start with the Buffalo Bills versus the Colts. That line has not moved too much. It was actually at -6.5 for the Bills this morning. It's gone back up to -7. So yeah, we can start. We can start there. What's your thoughts on that?
-7.
-7. Yeah,
Okay, so this is the game that you
as
think
of
is
right
gonna
now.
be low scoring.
I hope so. I
And
mean, two really premier defenses, and both teams have kind of been hot and cold. I mean, one has Carson Wentz, who does the most ridiculous, stupid mistakes, and the Bills sometimes just don't click.
yeah,
So I have a feeling this is an under game. But as for like the actual spread itself, I mean, I got to take the Bills. The Colts have been good, but still think Bills are in for the Super Bowl, or a contender at least. So I'm still gonna stick with the
yeah.
Bills -7.
Like I'll agree with you, but I'll say my heart says that the Colts are gonna win this game. So by that logic, I would take the spread
But
on the Colts.
you haven't taken them in the pick'em, have
No,
you?
but I'm thinking about doing it now because the thing is like
Ah,
the
okay.
only thing that
Bills are at home, by the way.
Bills are home. Okay, so the only thing that's kind of like making me wonder if they're even gonna beat the spread or anything is Jonathan Taylor. And
Right.
whether the Bills are gonna have an answer to Jonathan Taylor. So that's the only scary thing. But I think logically at home, Bills should take
Mm,
a big lead on this one, and especially after the last two games, especially after the loss against the Jags, they have a lot to
yeah.
prove. So no,
Also, something
go ahead.
something to take a note in is it's supposed to be raining during the game. So not only is it cold in Buffalo, probably around 8
All right.
degrees Celsius, not that cold actually, but it's gonna be pretty windy and it's also gonna be pretty wet. So
But if
usually the
that's the
Colts play in a
case,
dome, so
that's true. That's true. So okay, so
uh,
they have that against them, but at the same time, when it's rainy and cold like that and windy, what do teams rely on? The run game, and who
right,
has the better run game?
for sure. But I still think the Bills have the better front. I think defensive.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is why I'm taking the under because I don't really know the
Yeah.
outcome of this game, but I think it's going to be low scoring. But every time I say I think it's going to be low scoring, it ends up being like 48-45 or something stupid. So
It's fair enough. Fair enough.
and yeah,
But no,
um,
I'll agree with you. Let's stick to the Bills.
sweet. Okay, next game: Carolina Panthers versus Washington Football Team. Panthers are -3 right now. I think that's pretty generous that they
Carolina Panthers
have
against who again?
Washington Football Team. Cam
Okay.
Newton's back. Christian McCaffrey's back. They're pretty much all healthy on offense. I can't think of anyone who's out. DJ Moore is healthy. Like it just seems to have like such a. They're like back. They should be back anyway. Washington played pretty well against Tampa, but I feel like it was like one of those one-off games, kind of like Saints versus Packers or Jets versus Titans. It's like one of those games where you slip up and you lose a game.
Yeah.
So, and also Washington are without Chase Young, so he's out for the season.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's a big deal.
I'll go for the Panthers. You said -3.
-3. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not much.
I think with with like you said, with Cam back, Christian McCaffrey back, this is an
Mm.
the defense is pretty good. Chase Young is out. It's just everything is pointing towards the Panthers. So
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to
Yeah. And Curtis
take the
Samuel's still out
Panthers.
for Washington football team, so it's only really Terry McLaurin as the main target. And Panthers have been pretty good pass defense team. They've kind of solidified I think they traded for 2 defensive backs before the trade deadline, so um, they're getting stronger back there. Onto the game, which has seen the most movement in the last hour, but the last week. Chicago Bears versus Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are -1. This morning they were -3.5. At the beginning of the week they were -6. So it's getting closer and closer. It's pretty much a pick 'em at this point. Baltimore Ravens -1 with Lamar Jackson being out, Marquise Brown being out. It's going to be Huntley as the quarterback for Baltimore. So, what's your thoughts on this one?
Uh, you said it's -1?
Yeah, -1
Yeah. And it's in Chicago, right?
in Chicago. Yep.
It's gonna be cold.
I don't know what the weather is. Let me check the weather. I always got to check the weather
Yeah.
for these outdoor stadiums in November.
It's gonna be cold no
Chicago
matter what.
weather. It's only 8 degrees, but no rain and not that much
Yeah.
wind. There's wind in the evening, but not during the game.
And Baltimore is still accustomed to cold weather, so I
Right,
don't think it's gonna
exactly. Yeah,
affect
same
anyway.
weather.
Um, I don't know, man. I really don't know about this one. I mean, I kind of have to commit and say Ravens here because of my free bet.
Mm, right.
But but I don't know. I don't know what to think about the Bears. I've been giving them too many chances this year, sorry. Um,
Yeah.
and I just don't know what to get out of Justin Fields. I don't know if you saw the stat that Mac Jones has more wins than all the new quarterbacks, all the rookie
I
quarterbacks
did see that.
combined.
Yeah.
Like
That
that's
is
messed
very
up.
impressive. And probably with the least amount of help as well. Like New England doesn't have like a particularly awesome offense,
No.
I don't
Well, I mean, if
think.
you consider Bill Belichick a small help, then yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But like for example, like Chicago, they have like Dave Montgomery, Allen Robinson, who is better than both of them are better than anyone pretty much on the Patriots team, but they don't really put up that many points.
Well,
But
that's
speaking
true.
of which, yeah, Montgomery is back. So I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a messy game,
It
a
is.
very messy game. I put the under in this one. I was actually fortunate. I put the under on probably like an hour ago, and the under's gone like 5 points lower, 5 points lower. So I got it at like a pretty decent spot. So I'm happy about that. Before the Lamar Jackson news came. Um,
Oh
by the
man.
way, Seb's saying he wants to jump on.
Oh, well, it's gonna take a while for
Oh,
me, Seb.
he says he's out for right now. He might jump on later. I don't know. You can just tell him to audio call in. All right, we done there. Both of us thinking Ravens. It's pretty much a pick 'em at this point. So Ravens -1.
So you're going for the Ravens?
Um, yeah, I think so. I don't trust the Bears. The defense has gotten worse as well with Khalil Mack being out, so there's not going to be as much pressure on Huntley. And I think Huntley's a great quarterback, by the way. I think he's probably one of the top 3 best backup quarterbacks easily in the NFL. I watched him a lot in preseason. Watched him when he came in a couple times when Lamar was injured. He looks decent. He's like Lamar 2.0, but not as good, obviously, but kind of like similar quarterbacks. Not like they have to change the scheme a lot. Not like Arizona where you have like Kyler Murray and then Colt McCoy, like 2 complete opposite players. Like
True.
they're pretty similar.
All
All right, let's go to
I'll
you.
take
Oh,
Ravens too.
you'll take Ravens too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I I think this is a toss up. Bears could win, but who knows? All right, Cleveland Browns at home against the Detroit Lions. I think this is the biggest spread of the week. -13 Cleveland Browns.
Wow.
E- Even after getting smoked by
Yeah,
the Patriots, they're still -13. I'm taking Detroit +13 on this
me
one.
too. I think Detroit has been able to score. It's not like a team that doesn't score.
And they keep it fairly close.
Yeah,
They make teams worry.
and 13
They got a
points.
tie. 13 plus
Yeah,
13
no.
plus 13 -13.
I'll take Detroit on
Crazy.
that.
I'm gonna quickly check the weather in Cleveland because if it is bad weather in Cleveland, I think that really favors Detroit. Like against the Steelers, like that weather was ridiculous. Okay, so 84% chance of rain, pretty windy, only 7 degrees Celsius. That to me kind of looks more as a under game as well, a running game. Nick Chubb is back, but I don't think he changes that much, to be honest with you. Still
Yeah.
have Baker Mayfield at quarterback. So yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
Oh yeah. Let's stick with Detroit. I think they should be able to keep it at least close. Maybe they don't get the win, but
Yeah, I mean it's plus it's nearly 2 touchdowns.
yeah.
Definitely 2 scores. So, yeah. All right, plus 13. Can't believe we're taking the
I
Lions.
know.
An 0
Weird.
8 and 1 team, but still, plus 13 seems to be an awful lot. Jacksonville Jaguars at home to the San Francisco 49ers. We don't even have to check the weather there. It's going to be probably lovely and sunny. Uh, Niners are 1 touchdown, -7 against Jags. I think that is pretty
Safe.
generous, yeah, because they smoked the Rams and Jacksonville don't win ever. Well, they've won one game, but
Is it
minus
seven
seven,
and a half or -7? Not
minus
that it
seven.
matters.
So, well, I'll say this on my bookie. It says if the result is a handicap tie, the result will be void. So, I mean, for gambling purposes, I mean that's good because it's not 7.5. At least you don't lose money; you get
Fair
your money
enough.
back, or it's just void. Um, but for our purposes of winning or losing, because a tie is a is a loss, -7.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think 49ers will take a big lead in here. Um, their
yep,
defense started showing up a little bit. Mitchell's out, and I think Jeff Wilson is the better running back, so I think they're gonna
yep.
get. It's actually like
Hey,
a blessing in
Debo
disguise.
Samuel's playing well as well.
Debo
It's not
Samuel's
just about the running
insane.
game. Yeah,
Ayuk
yeah.
is not showing obviously what everyone expected, but hey, at least he's a little bit back, getting
He's
some
serviceable.
10 points, per
Right.
week. That's fine.
Yeah,
It's a WR4 range by at this time, but it
yeah.
is what it is. I think the 49ers will take this easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just saw on my screen the next game actually changed a little bit. Minnesota Vikings at home to the Green Bay Packers. It was well, when I first was on this morning, it was -1 Green Bay. Then it was -1.5 Green Bay. Now it's to -2. So there's a whole point swing this
Why?
morning. I have no idea why. I haven't seen any news. I know people might just be favoring Green Bay more. I mean, honestly, between a pick'em and -2.5, there's really not that much difference. Very little games are,
Yeah.
decided 3 goals or less, 3 points or less, 2.5 points or less. So it doesn't really make that much difference, -1 to -2. Just, it is what it is.
Hmm.
I don't know. I have been seeing a lot of people taking the Vikings, and it's making me worried. Um,
I'm not that worried. Obviously, I'm a Packers fan,
I
so
mean, you're a Packers fan, so you shouldn't be worried.
I mean we're healthy. Rogers is
Yeah,
back, Adams back. AJ Dillon. I feel like
looks amazing.
yeah. I mean I'm not worried at all. I've
He's
always
RB1.
preferred them more than Aaron Jones. I always said I wish they had
I think AJ
kept the
Dillon's the
money.
better runner, and Aaron Jones is the better catcher.
Yeah. Yeah. But I said at the beginning, like I almost would
Yeah.
wish they didn't throw that money at Aaron Jones, throw it at
Mm,
Rodgers and Adams for them to stay longer and
yeah,
just believe
I agree.
in Dillon. But here we
Yeah.
are.
Well,
You know,
yeah.
Packers
Decisions
organization
of the
sucks
Packers for yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's shocking.
Um, yeah, I'm
I'll
still
take
gonna
the
take
Packers.
Packers. Yeah, I think we're both always gonna take the Packers because Minnesota are one of those teams where it is you never know what you're gonna get. They do keep it close every game. I'll give them that. That's why I think if it was -3.5 for Green Bay, I might be tempted to go to the Vikings because it feels like they're always like a field goal away from winning.
Okay.
Um, but because it's still -2, I don't see it being a safety or anything. I don't see it being that close.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be close, but I don't think 2-point close. Okay. I mean, that was relatively painful. I think if Seb was here, it might have been a longer
Yeah.
conversation.
We're smoking through these. These are easy. We
I
thought it
know
was
we
gonna be
are.
hard.
Actually, it was weird. When I was taking my picks, I don't like looking at your column or anyone else's column. I like doing
Yeah, of
like
course.
not being swayed by anyone. And then I went and looked at it afterwards, and we have identical this week.
I mean, we did it identical
Everything's a
last
change.
week too.
Yeah. I mean, if you changed to the Colts, we'd be one
That's true.
different.
That's true.
But yeah. Okay. On to the next one. This one, It's weird. New York Jets at home to the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins are only minus 3.5. I don't,
I mean, I'm
I
not
don't
too
know.
surprised. Dolphins aren't the best
No,
of
they're
the team.
not. But at least they have Tua back, which is I think better than Jacoby. Um,
Ooh,
not that
wow. Can
much
I
better,
record that
but
and put it
I
on
know.
TikTok live? This has never happened.
Yeah,
You
I don't
picked him
know.
up in the league. Like,
Yeah, I know. This week has been crazy for me. I'm hoping the Dolphins do well.
you
Um,
starting Tua?
but I have to. I mean, Stafford's on a bye.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. Oh
So
boy.
I had to pick up someone. So I mean, it's against the Jets. I mean, come on, they're not playing like the Packers or the Niners or
I
someone
mean,
with a decent defense.
I'm starting Gaskin because apparently it's the Jets are the worst run defense. I thought they weren't, but
Nice.
apparently, I mean, they're the ones that give most points to the running back, so
Right.
I'll take it.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, this game's weird though, because you don't know what Jets team you're gonna get. You don't know. I mean, one,
Is it Flacco?
how good is Joe Flacco gonna be?
Okay, I was gonna ask, is it Flacco?
Mhm.
Um,
I think that's why the line. I mean, if it was Mike White or Zach Wilson, I think this line would be +7, -7. But because you got an experienced quarterback who should be a bit smarter than those two guys because they just haven't got
no.
experience, I think the line's a bit smaller.
It's still tough for a new quarterback to step in, and the
Yeah,
O
I
line
mean with the
from the
Jets.
Jets, yeah, the O line from the Jets hasn't been too kind to their quarterbacks either. I mean, they've had three quarterbacks injured.
Yeah,
Um, maybe you just look at the least common denominator there, but
yeah,
I mean, I'll take Miami. I think they have more opportunities to score, which is the
yeah,
most important thing here.
yeah,
I don't see the Jets scoring too much, so by that, you know,
yeah.
get some J. What is it? Jalen Waddle? What's his name?
Jalen Waddle. Yeah,
Jalen. Okay.
yeah, yeah. I've actually played two Dolphins players this week. I got Waddle and
I've been there,
Tua.
man. I've been
God.
there, and I won my week when I did that.
Ugh.
I put Tua, and we both actually had Tua in this league. That's amazing. I
Uh, that's
used him
weird.
for a win, dropped him. You picked him up.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. He's gonna be my first drop next week. As
You
soon
just
as Stafford's back,
gotta
I'm just like, bye.
gotta pick him up and let
Yeah,
him go.
exactly.
All right, we'll take
Yeah,
Miami.
sweet. Yeah, Miami for me as well. Next matchup, I have no idea what really to do here. Philadelphia Eagles at home to the New Orleans Saints. Philly are -3. Um, what are you thinking on this one?
I'm thinking two things. One, Kamara's out, and two,
Yeah,
Eagles are heating up. Like they're on a hot streak.
right. Yeah, I agree.
Scoring quite a bit, and Miles Sanders is back. Whether Miles Sanders is a good player for fantasy, that's another question.
Yeah.
But now you have three running backs that have proven to be quite a nice committee. You got Boston Scott, Miles Sanders, and then Jordan Howard for the push line at the end.
Mm,
So I mean, fantasy wise, stay away from those running backs. Like that's
yeah.
what I would do.
Yeah, who
Um,
knows?
I mean,
Gainwell's is inactive today as well. So it shows you
yeah,
that they're
you just don't know. Like you're probably gonna start Miles Sanders, and then Jordan Howard's gonna get the end zone targets. So in that
yeah,
case, you start Jordan Howard, but then you're gonna suffer the whole game because he's not gonna get as many carries as Boston
yeah,
Scott. And then you start Boston Scott, but again, Jordan Howard's probably gonna get those end zone targets. So it's a mess. I
yeah.
wouldn't touch it with a 10-inch pole, but I will. I do think the Eagles take this. You said at home, right?
Yeah, Eagles at home.
Eagles at home. Kamara's out.
Yeah.
Who's the quarterback for the Saints again? Is it Ta-
Trevor Simeon
Trevor Siemian? Okay, yeah,
and Taysom Hill.
yeah.
Like both.
I think Eagles. I think with the spread is a bit generous as well. I mean, not generous, but safe.
Right.
-3. So,
Yeah.
what about you?
Yeah. Before before I talk about that, the Chicago Bears and Baltimore Ravens spread has been suspended on my website. So I don't know if anything's changing there. We'll go
Wait,
back to that.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Um,
What if?
I don't see any news coming out. It might just be a quick change of spread or something. I don't know.
Okay,
But I don't see any
what
news
if
on
it gets
Twitter
suspended
at the
on mine?
moment.
Like,
Yeah.
what happens to me?
Yeah. So I want to give you some stats here for the Saints. So going back to October 10th, they won against Washington. They beat the Seahawks by 3 points. They pretty much blew out the Buccaneers, so they won that game. They lost the Falcons by 2 points. And then last week they lost against the Titans by 2 points. So they've won all the games they won, they kind of like blew out. But the games that they lost, They only lost by 2 points,
I see.
and the spread is -3. So that's why I'm thinking. Also, I mean, they were only 2 points behind the Titans, who are the hottest team in the NFL right now, with Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram is a very serviceable running back.
Yep.
So that makes me a bit more wary of picking the Eagles. I think they're a great team, but it's like it feels like the Saints are not a great team, but they just hang around. Kind of like Detroit Lions. Like although they're 0-8-1, they've had some really close games. I feel like the Saints are win games they shouldn't, like against the Buccaneers, and they nearly beat the Titans last week. They beat the Seahawks. They beat Washington. They beat the Patriots. You have to go back to October 3rd, where they lost the game by more than 3 points, and that was in overtime. They beat the Packers, then they lost against Panthers as well. So their record is like looking at their games, like their scores, like they actually look a little bit better than I thought they did. But having said that, I mean, the
So,
Eagles do look like they're on a roll.
yeah, for me that's the thing. Like for the Titans, we keep saying obviously there's one of the strongest teams, if not the strongest right now. But
Yeah.
it is also a very highly defensive team. Their
Mm,
their their defense has been stepping up. A lot of pick sixes. A lot of scoring
yeah.
opportunities.
They do have
Um,
a great defense. Yeah.
on the Eagles side, it's quite the opposite. I think it's a more offensive type, more of outscoring your opponent, just scoring, scoring, scoring. So I think the complete dynamic of just the game, it's gonna be a little different.
Right.
To the point that if the Eagles are gonna win, I think because of that dynamic that I just mentioned, that they're gonna win by more than those 3 points, more like
Right.
10 if so.
Yeah.
But stats are stats for a reason. Um,
Right.
so if you want to take the Saints +3, like I'm not gonna go against you.
Nah, I think I'm still gonna take the Eagles. I was just looking at that because it is interesting. Like it just makes
It
the
is.
Saints not look as bad as I thought. But I think the Eagles are gonna win. So yeah,
It
I'm gonna
is.
go with the
All right,
Eagles.
let's go. Fly Eagles fly.
All right. Yeah. This spread, the next one, just changed actually about 2 minutes ago. Tennessee Titans at home to the Houston Texans, the worst team in the league. Although the record doesn't show it, they are the worst team in the league. It was -10.5. It's now down to -9.5, which is good for us because I assume we're both going to be taking the
Yeah,
Titans.
yeah, give it to me.
Um, the Texans are going to get absolutely smoked. Yeah, I mean, they got smoked. They're getting smoked by everyone.
It's
So
-9 or
every
nine
time
and a half.
-9.5.
Okay.
So yeah, they have to win. I mean, it's gonna be 2 touchdowns. Um, what I was thinking though is, I remember back to when they were playing the Bills and they were playing. Who was the other team the Texans played? It was like a crazy spread. I can't remember. The Bills were like -22 or something, and
Yeah,
someone
yeah,
else
yeah,
was
yeah.
something, and we were like, "Oh, it's way too big, way too big. There's no way Texans will cover. They'll score a touchdown or whatever," and they didn't. So let's just go. I mean, definitely going with the Titans. I don't believe in the Texans at all.
Yeah, I mean, we said it. Titans are the best team in the league, and you just said it.
Right?
Texans are the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
Divisional
Hmm.
game, you need these differences. Not that it matters with the
At
Titans,
home.
but it does matter with the Colts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, nah, minus nine and a
Yeah.
half is a bit generous.
Tyra Taylor looked god awful against Miami. Texans were on a bye last week,
That was his first game back,
so
right?
it was his first game back, but at the same time, remember, everyone was so hype about Tyra Taylor after their first game where they beat the Jags, but then he got injured straight away. So we have one sample size of him against a shit team, and everyone got like super hyped about it. Then he went and played the Dolphins and threw like 3 interceptions, no touchdowns. Doesn't look good.
Yeah.
So I believe it. I really like Tyrod. He's better than anyone else we have, but it's not going to cover the spread.
No.
So yeah.
Look, if it were
Um,
14, 15, 16, those big ones that we usually
yeah,
struggle,
yeah.
it'd
It's
be a
weird. I
little
can't believe it's
harder.
only -9.5. That's
But
crazy. It's not like they're missing any. I mean, Derrick Henry obviously, but like it's not like AJ Brown's missing or.
well, Julio
I
just
mean, they have
sucked, but
their running backs have been good though. Like even with Derrick Henry out, they haven't lost a game without Derrick Henry.
no.
So that's impressive. All right, on to the next one, the 4 o'clock game, 4:05. We only have one 4:05 game today. The Raiders at home to the Bengals. Bengals are -1.5. Only
Oh,
minus
money
one and a
line,
half.
easy. Easy.
Yeah.
That's good. Raiders suck. We've been talking about this week after
Yeah,
week
we
after
did.
week after week.
We said that.
So
Yeah. Yep.
Bengals are a good team. Um,
I
great
don't
defense.
understand why it's only -1.5.
Me neither. Because the Raiders is just so inflated. I don't know. I mean, like you said it yourself. Like let's talk about a bit about the Raids. They're a mess. Just the
Yeah.
organization. You know, with everything going on
Yeah.
with the coach, with
Who even is the coach? I don't even remember if they got a new coach or it was like the offensive
yeah, I haven't
coordinator
heard
is the
anything
coach
about
now.
that. Yeah.
I don't know. Like who? I don't think anyone knows.
Then the drama with
Um.
Ruggs. You know, like
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. I feel like the only saving grace morale, like when we talk about morale, is Derek Carr. So
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
everyone has to hang on to that guy. You know, hang on to that one hope and hope for the best. But the Bengals
Yeah.
are a good defense and a great offense too. I think Mixon's gonna have a great day. I think Jamar Chase is gonna have a good day.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, obviously, consequently, sorry, Joe Burrows as well.
Yeah.
So if it's -1, I'll take it.
Yeah. -1.5. Yeah. Weird. I just refreshed the page again, and almost every spread we've talked about has
God damn
changed.
it.
The Bills are now -6.5 rather than 7. Um, the Jacksonville Jaguars and Niners is now -6.5 rather than 7.
Wait, which one?
Uh,
Jaguars and Niners? Six and a
the
half?
Niners are now 6.5 rather than 7. New York Jets and Miami Dolphins is now -4.
Whoa.
Um, the Titans are now -10 rather than
God
nine
dang
and a
it.
half. So it's like lots of things are like moving 40 minutes before kickoff, which is really weird. We don't normally get that, I don't think, but
No.
yeah.
I'm trying to
Um,
update it on our picks at the bottom, so
yeah. Oh, you're doing it on on YouTube, like
yeah,
the
on
ticker.
on the
That
Discord thing
sucks.
on
We can just do
Streamlabs.
it as we talk. We're not gonna keep messing around with it. Just keep it as is.
I
All right, I'm gonna
it's not
refresh one
that
more time
hard.
before we go
Yeah.
on to the next one.
All right. Yeah, actually.
Oh, it changed as well. It was okay. So next one is Kansas City Chiefs at
Oof.
home to the Dallas Cowboys. Um,
Cowboys have to be favorites, right?
no, Chiefs are
Really?
favorites by -2.5.
Oh
This
boy.
is again kind of like a pick 'em because it's -2.5. Um, or close to one. But it's weird. How are the Chiefs, who have been hot and cold all season long, compared to the scorching hot Dallas Cowboys, who lost, against the Bucks week 1, and then had that
Right. Yeah.
disastrous game against the Broncos. But that's only two slip ups, and I wouldn't even say the week 1 was a slip up because we didn't really have expectations against Tom
And it
Brady.
was a close
There's
one.
one slip up, whereas the Chiefs have slipped up every other week, which has been crazy. And I wouldn't even give them like that Packers win, like they beat Jordan Love, like congratulations, and it was like barely. So
Actually.
yeah, weird.
Yeah.
And I guess you don't have to look at the weather or anything because it's in Kansas. I don't think Kansas has bad weather this time of year,
Yeah.
do
So
they?
I
I don't
thought I'd
know.
have to argue my point for taking the Cowboys, but looks like you're in agreement with me. I think the Cowboys are
Yeah,
a really hot team right now. Dak Prescott, Elliott, even Tom Pollard. I might even consider starting Tom Pollard
yeah.
as a nice
Cooper's out
flex.
though today, which sucks.
Cooper? Oh boy.
Amari Cooper,
So look,
yeah,
I have
he's
okay.
out.
So I have here. Help me out. So I have Tom Brady, Najee Harris, Ramondre Stevenson, who I already played, is stuck in there.
Yeah.
I have Keenan Allen and Jacoby Myers, who already played as well. Um, so I have of my running back, Najee Harris and Keenan Allen. I'm not gonna move because they're doing really well. In my flex position, I'm thinking I have Emmanuel Sanders and I have Kenny Galladay and Tom Pollard. Kenny Galladay is
Mm,
against Tampa Bay, whose defense is atrocious.
yeah.
Tom Pollard is what we're just talking about against the Chiefs. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game with Amari Cooper out. There might be some other pass catching opportunities. This is full PPR
Well,
as well.
Michael Gallup is back, so he
Yeah, that's
instantly
true.
takes that role. I think not the role, but fills the wide receiver
Yeah.
hole that would be left there.
So yeah, I mean my decision is either Kenny Galladay, Tom Pollard, or Emmanuel Sanders against the Colts.
Probably go Galladay.
Galladay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Bucks just haven't looked good defensively, and also Richard Sherman's out for the year, I think. So, I mean, their defensive backs are just complete mess at the
Did he
moment.
get
So,
signed and played one game and that's it?
I think he played 2 or 3 games. But then
Lol.
he got injured and then he got I don't even know. But yeah, I played 1 or 2. Not good. Not a good deal for the
No,
Bucks.
not a good deal. All right,
All
Cowboys,
right.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Amari Cooper out. Maybe that's why the spread is the way it is.
But even still, a seat. I mean, they got Zeke, CD Lamb,
Yeah.
Michael Gallup, Dak Prescott's playing. Like, I don't. I mean, yeah, I mean, Kelsey and Hill are really good as well, but I don't know. I still think Dallas are better. Chiefs have no defense. Dallas do have like a
Yeah, that's the
decent
thing. No, they
defense
do. They do have a
who
good
like
defense.
have like who's that? Travion Diggs, I think. He gets like an interception every game. Um,
Okay, Sterling
yeah,
Shepard is
weird
out.
one.
So yeah, I'm starting Kenny Galladay. All right.
Yeah,
Okay. No, I agree. I think Cowboys have everything going for them. Um,
yeah,
even even Dalton Schultz is having a great game. I was just looking at some of the trades. What do you think about this? They traded Dalton Schultz for Allen Robinson. On paper, that seems like a horrible trade. Like
yeah.
like
But Allen
collusion.
Robinson does nothing
But
now.
Allen Robinson, exactly. He's out, I think, this week, and he's
Yeah,
done nothing over the last 11 weeks. So,
yeah, crazy.
okay, so we'll pick Cowboys 2.5, was it?
Sweet. Yep, 2.5.
Plus two and a
Right,
half,
I'm
right?
gonna plus Cowboys plus 2.5. Correct.
I think that's our first, no, our second underdog. Like our second plus
Yeah,
pick. Scary.
I mean the rest of being,
We're
not
picking,
that great.
yeah, scary though. All
All
right,
right. I'm just refreshing the page to make sure we get the
the
up
right
to
one.
date, yeah, odds. Okay, Seattle
Seahawks.
Seahawks at home to the Arizona Cardinals. Seahawks are -3. Arizona look like they're going to be without Hopkins and Kyler Murray, 2 big losses. Whereas Seattle Seahawks are only missing Chris Carson. Really, they still have Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, um, and Russell Wilson too. So, what are your thoughts on this one?
I think the main storyline is Hopkins and Kyler Murray most likely out, and they haven't looked pretty without them. So you know that, and the fact that Russell just came back from like his first game in his entire career, I believe, to never score a point with the Seahawks, to
Yeah, that was
actually
a
get
tough
shut
outing.
out. So I think you know Russell's got something to prove. He has all the weapons that he's had all year, minus
Yeah,
Chris
and
Carson,
at home.
and at home, exactly. So
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's had
I'm
an
gonna
extra
take the
week
Seahawks.
to get accustomed to his finger surgery. So
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully they can move the ball better without him too. I mean, Alex Collins, Rashard Penny just haven't done anything in the absence of Chris Carson. I think they're really, Chris Carson wasn't one of those running backs where you like thought, oh, he's like a top 10 running back, but like in terms of like team needs, he really moved the ball well for them, and they just haven't been able to replace that.
yeah,
So they just haven't been, nobody really like starts Alex Collins anymore in fantasy because he just doesn't do anything.
yeah.
So I think they're really missing Chris Carson there. But I guess we'll see. I mean, with Russell Wilson back, being able to run the ball a bit better, hopefully. All right, on to Sunday Night Football. I'm really looking forward to this game. Really, really looking forward to this game.
Steelers,
Sunday Night
Chargers.
Football. Yeah, LA Chargers at home to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are +6. Chargers are -6.
+6?
Steelers, yeah, Steelers are missing quite a few players though. I will tell you that there's no T.J. Watt, there's no Minka Fitzpatrick, there's no Juju. I believe Chase Claypool's playing and Ben Roethlisberger's playing, so they still do have a lot of offensive weapons. But T.J. Watt is the heart of that defense and what makes the kind of Steelers defense tick.
Okay,
So, but
let me then change my money line pick real quick.
who are we gonna take? The Steelers money line?
Well, I was taking Steelers until you told me
Mm,
that literally the reason why I picked them was because of the defense.
because of their defense, yeah.
So, which now I'm more comfortable playing Mike Williams over Rashad Bateman. So,
Yeah.
thank you for
But
that.
then again, the Chargers lost against the Vikings. They only beat the Eagles by 3, lost against the Patriots, lost against the Ravens. The last win was against the Browns, and they barely scraped through that. They have not looked good since October 4th
Yeah, no,
against the Raiders.
they haven't. They really haven't.
So
I
that's why I'm still thinking like Steelers, if they win this, they are like in the hunt for that playoff spot in their division because The Browns have looked bad. The Bengals are there or thereabouts. The Ravens, I mean, if they lose today, they really do have a shot. So this division is probably the closest division, honestly, because any of the teams could still make the playoffs. Ravens, Browns, Steelers, Bengals, they're all still in it. So Steelers have to win, I think. And this is a perfect spot because the Chargers are coming off a loss and
Yeah.
the Chargers don't look good. Chargers look like they're falling apart. Mike Williams hasn't been good since that week against the Browns. Same with Eckler. Both of them like went off against the Browns, scoring multiple touchdowns. But since that week, they only scored 6 points against the Ravens, lost against the Patriots, beat the Eagles only by 3, and then got smoked. Really, I mean, they didn't look good at all against the Vikings, and the Vikings weren't particularly impressive either. So I'm going to stick with the Steelers, both money line and +6. Might be a bit biased for me, but I just don't believe in the Chargers right now. I think the Chargers are a really good team. I just think they're like in a big slump. Kind of like reminds me of Kansas City. Like should be an amazing team on paper, but just they're like struggling at the moment.
Yeah. Okay, so finally something we disagree on. I
You
think
gonna take Chargers -6?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I
Woo!
think the main reason was that defense. So hopefully,
Yeah.
actually,
No, I definitely understand that.
okay. It's in LA, right?
Yeah, it's in LA, so there's no weather. There's no nothing. It's not like
Um,
playing in Pittsburgh. So
thing is, if it's +6, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like +6 is a bit safer.
I do too.
Um,
If it was,
if it was money line, like -1, -2, then like I'd go with the
yeah,
Chargers.
I think I would as
But
well.
you know what? I'll stick with you.
Who knows?
Let's
What
stick with
kind
the
of ban are we
bias.
gonna get? Are we gonna get 4 touchdown ban? Are we gonna get 3 interception
For
ban?
interception, yeah.
He's coming off of COVID, by the way, so that's another thing to
Oh my God, you're
be
just making this harder
keep
for
into
me. Just let me
consideration.
let me
I
just
know.
put it in 6.0 and forget about it.
All
Uh, fair enough. All right, it's done. Log it in. Final
right,
answer. And the Monday
sweet.
game? What's the Monday game?
Oh, sorry. It is Tampa Bay versus the Giants. Sorry, my screen went blank, so I have to refresh this and get back on it. I was trying to get the updated
Yeah, no worries.
line and it messed up. Yeah. All right, -10. Tampa Bay Buccaneers
Wow.
at home to the New York Giants. -10 for a team that just got smoked by a a huge underdog.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you
this one's kind of
wanna?
hard.
Yeah. Do you wanna do a take a curveball here and take the Giants +10?
Barkley's back as well.
Easy.
And also Tampa Bay are going to be missing Antonio Brown and Gronk probably. Antonio Brown for sure.
I mean,
Um,
I think Bucks take the game, but I think the
plus
Giants
10 is
outscored. Yeah,
yeah. All
Giants.
right, let's take the Giants.
All right,
Let's
let's
go
take
for the underdog. Hey, that's back-to-back underdogs we just took.
let's do it. Giants 10.0.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
That's crazy.
We'll
10
call it there.
plus 10.
Oh, it's just like look, the Giants. I'll keep saying they're a good potential team. Like they're a team with
Yeah.
good potential. That's what I meant. And Daniel Jones is not a bad quarterback. They're gonna score. Kenny Galladay's back. Saquon Barkley's back, like you said. So
Yep.
you know,
Probably back.
Tampa
He's not
Bay.
definitely, but
Yeah,
probably.
Tampa Bay defense is not bueno.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. All right. So since we finished early on the spreads, whoever our beautiful viewer is, feel free to answer questions, unless it's one of us, in which case, never mind. Um, let's do some DraftKings, baby. Some tiers.
Oh yeah, I love these. Wait, have you won since we did our like week 1, week 2 picks? Or we won like 60 cents?
I think I got my money back in one. Actually, I don't even remember if I did one, actually. So we'll do a 50 cent one. This is gonna be
Okay,
a
nice.
big one. The
Big baller.
I remember the best one that I've won ever was I finished fourth for
Oh, she.
yeah, but that was in the NBA.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, that was so weird, and it was all based on this. I can't remember his name, but it was like a point guard that hadn't like, I think it was a Knicks point guard that was playing only because the main one was out.
Right.
So it was super, cheap. So I put him in and he like popped off. And I got
Damn.
out of the 50 cents, I got $40. So I was like,
Ooh,
All
that's
right,
pretty
this gave
good.
me a lot of free, years of playing this
Right,
without having
exactly.
to add more picks, add more money. All right. Do you want to start at the top or at the bottom?
At the top.
Started from the bottom. Now we're all right. Top. We got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson out, so you can ignore that. Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, and Dak Prescott.
Ooh, I'm going between Pat Mahomes and Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I think the same,
I
and I
mean,
think Dak would be based on
you
our
think Dak?
yeah, based on our chats. But okay, so okay, now I'm doubting it because with Dak,
They
is it?
run the ball more,
Yes,
Dallas.
that's what I'm saying. Like, is it gonna be him that scores, or is it gonna be Elliott? You know?
Let's go. Kansas City. They're bad at running the ball. They're not efficient like Dallas are, and Dallas have two really good running backs. Kansas City, Edwards Hilaire's back, but it's his first game back. Damian Williams is
And he
nothing
sucks.
special.
Yeah.
Let's just go with Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, and if we're saying that Cowboys are winning the spread, Pat Mahomes are,
Yeah.
I mean, Chiefs are probably running from like they're gonna chase the game, chase the ball,
Right.
so more air. All right, let's do it. Pat Mahomes. Tier two, Jonathan Taylor against Buffalo, Tyreek Hill against Dallas, Christian McCaffrey against Washington, Davante Adams against Vikings, and Dalvin Cook against the Packers.
Some good players there.
Yeah, I think I'm between Tyreek Hill and Christian McCaffrey, but I would go Christian McCaffrey just because he's, the beast that always produces. While Tyreek Hill, he could get you those 40-point games, but he can also
You
get
also
you
get four.
the yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, let's go. I'm good with Christian. Yep.
Christian McCaffrey running back. All right. Debo Samuel against Jacksonville Jaguars. Nick Chubb against the 30th worst running defense in the game. Ezekiel Elliott versus Chiefs. Justin Jefferson versus the Packers, and Stephon Diggs against the Colts. This one's tough.
I think I go Zeke. We just talked about it.
Zeke, Chubb, or Samuel? It's Chubb
I
though.
don't want to trust. I don't want to trust Samuel just yet. He's had a game or two have been really good, but I'd rather go with. I mean, Chubb's just come back from injury as well. How much is he going to play? Is he going to be? I mean, Dearness Johnson has been really good in his absence. I don't think they're just going to like bench him and be like, yeah, here, Chubb, have the entire workload back. I think they're going to
Yeah, but
be
Chubb's gonna get
50-50 on
us.
it.
Chubb's gonna get that 80-yard run touchdown,
You
and we're
think
gonna
so?
suffer. No, I mean, I think based on your logic, it makes sense to go Elliott.
Yeah,
Um, I'm just saying we're gonna get that notification of Nick Chubb doing that 80-yard touchdown run. We're gonna be
probably.
like, ugh.
Okay, if you want to go Chubb, we can go Chubb,
No, no,
but I
I'd
just
rather
think
go
off on
Elliott.
injuries.
Look,
Yeah,
starting Christian McCaffrey and Elliott, that's like the dream team, So
yeah,
imagine
sure.
having those two in your fantasy league. I think you did at one point.
I don't think I've ever owned Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, really? I
No,
remember there
I've
was a
never
league where
managed to
you
get
had
him.
top running backs, but it was when I think it was maybe Kamara and Elliott, but it was when
I
Kamara.
had Saquon Barkley and Ezekiel Elliott. That's what I
Okay.
had. The year that Saquon popped off and Zeke, both of them were really good. Yeah,
Oh, his first
yeah,
year,
it was
yeah.
definitely OP. Yeah, it was
Okay.
like their first year and second year. I think I can't remember.
Yeah. All right. Tier 4, we got Jamar Chase versus Las Vegas. CeeDee Lamb versus Kansas City. Joe Mixon versus Vegas. Kelsey versus Dallas. AJ Brown versus Houston, and AJ Dillon versus Minnesota. Oof.
Those are
Oof.
difficult. I like Jamar Chase. I like AJ Dillon.
I
I
like
like
Joe Mixon.
Kelsey.
I like CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, this is difficult.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Let's let's start crossing people down. Um okay, so if you were to take let's do this. If you were to take one from Cincinnati, would it be Chase or would it be Mixon?
Jamar Chase. He doesn't have a bad game.
Okay.
Never has a bad game.
So let's put Mixon out on that. Then
We already have Ezekiel Elliott, so do we really want CeeDee Lamb?
it's
Same
true.
with Kelsey. Do we have Patrick Mahomes? Do we want Kelsey? Is too
Well, I
rely
mean
like
the
if
quarterback and tight end is always nice, but Kelsey Kelsey hasn't had like
but you're also relying on Patrick Mahomes. Like if Pat Mahomes has a bad game, so does Kelsey.
true,
So do you really want? If Pat Mahomes has a bad game, we could also have someone else who could hopefully like buff us up.
true.
That's why I like having like different players from different
That's true.
teams.
That's true. What about AJ Brown versus Houston?
AJ Brown, yeah, but the problem is I think they start running the ball in the second half because they don't need to throw.
True, True, true,
They're
true.
gonna be up so much. I don't know how
Okay.
much.
How
Do
about
you want to
AJ
risk AJ?
Dillon?
Yeah, I like that as well. AJ Dillon and Jamar Chase will be my
How,
top two picks.
okay. So how's the defense? So AJ Dillon, Minnesota defense is the 17th uh
Right, middle of the pack.
worst against, yeah, middle of the pack, worst against the run, and Vegas is the sixth best
Oh,
against the air. But
yeah.
how accurate is that though? Like, I mean, it is accurate, of course, but like, how relevant is it?
Let's go
Uh,
Dillon.
Dylan,
I
running
think
by
he has
running
a big
back.
game.
All right,
Yeah.
I like it. QB run. We got Jalen Hurts against Saints, Kirk Cousins against Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers against Minnesota, Joe Burrow against Las Vegas, Russell Wilson against Arizona, and Ryan Tannehill versus Houston. I think we're getting rid
Rogers
of
or
Ryan.
Wilson.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think we're getting rid
Rogers
of
or
Ryan
Wilson.
based on yours, on what you were saying.
Yeah,
Between Kirk and Rodgers, I prefer Rodgers.
yeah, me too.
Minnesota. Okay, Rodgers is against the 32nd worst team against quarterback.
Though we have to go Aaron
All
Rodgers.
right. Tier six, we got Marquise Brown is out. Amari Cooper's COVID-19, so we only have DeAndre Swift against the Browns, DK Metcalf against Arizona, TJ McLaurin against Carolina, and George Kittle against Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm tempted to go DK Metcalf. I think he Russell Wilson and him need to have a big game today.
I agree with that. I agree with that. It's either that or I was gonna say DeAndre Swift, but Browns defense is a little.
Yeah, I don't know if the Detroit will be running the ball that much.
Yeah, no, but he's a great
I don't
pass
know.
catcher, so I don't know.
Yeah,
But I agree. I think DK Metcalf is bound for a game, either him or Tyler Lockett. So
yeah,
we'll 50-50 it. Kittle has had good back-to-back games though.
yeah.
But I
Who
think
are Niners? Oh, I guess
Jags.
Jags. Yeah, it's possible.
But who has the
We
bigger
could go.
ceiling? That's the thing. If we're going, are we
I
going full hard or safe? Because safe would be George Kittle.
think they're pretty. I think they're pretty much the same in terms of ceiling. They both seem to. Yeah, I think Kittle will definitely catch more. So we could go Kittle. That's fine.
All right, let's do George Kittle. We still haven't picked a wide receiver. This is amazing.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
my god.
All right. Adam Thielen against Green Bay. Michael Pittman Jr. against the best wide receiver defense. Yikes.
Yeah, no.
James Robinson against San Francisco.
He's
Brandon
injured.
Cooks against. Well, he's playing, but yeah,
He's playing, but he's injured. Yeah.
Brandon Cooks against Titans. They're going to be behind.
Yeah.
Apparently, Tennessee is the 32nd worst defense. Nice. DJ Moore against Washington. James Conner against Seattle. Elijah Mitchell, who's out. And Devonta Smith against the Saints. Devonta Smith has had back to back amazing games.
I would
Three
be tempted to
touchdowns
go with
in
him.
2 games.
Yeah. I
I like
think we go with him.
Devonta
A
Smith.
lot of those other guys have like James Conner is so touchdown dependent. He doesn't run the ball at all. Like in the middle of the field, he is
Yeah.
literally at red zone only. Don't know how much action he's gonna see.
DJ Moore has had
Um,
the last 5 games have been bleh.
Also, we have McCaffrey, so I don't really want to put him in anyway.
It's true. Brandon Cooks would be the only one that playing behind could get some nice points, but
Yeah,
again,
I just don't know about Tyra Taylor,
yeah.
man. Even against Miami, Brandon Cooks didn't do anything. So
How about Thielen? I mean, Packers D is the third best against the wide receivers, but
yeah,
it's
that's
also
kind of similar to Seattle, where it's like Justin Jefferson or him. It's like rarely do both of them pop
yeah.
off. It feels like it's one or the other, and I feel like Justin Jefferson has the hot hand right now.
Okay.
Who was the one we were talking about? That just escaped me.
The first one, Devonta.
Yeah, yeah, I think him.
Yep,
I think we go with Devonta. Yeah.
I agree. Our one and only wide receiver.
Hey.
All right. Mark Andrews, not a bad pick. Tyler Lockett, Corey Davis, Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, Michael Carter, Antonio Gibson, and Mark Ingram. I like Mark Ingram.
Um, I really like Mark Andrews with Marquise Brown out. They're gonna
True.
have to check down quite a lot. I think they don't have a particularly good run game, Baltimore. So I think Mark Andrews might have a big game. I also like who's the last person you said?
Mark Ingram.
Yeah, I like Mark Ingram a lot. I also like Michael Carter. I'd go running back or tight end in this one. I didn't really like the wide receivers too much.
Michael Carter is just like, bleh. I don't know. Do you want to touch the Jets?
No, I mean that was just my third pick. So I
Yeah.
think Mark Ingram or Mark Andrews, one of the Marks, we can pick.
What are the marks? Okay, let's
Who
pick.
else are you thinking? Are you thinking of
Uh,
anyone else?
no, I mean
No.
Darren Waller, but like hasn't
He's
really
just
had a
been
good.
so
Yeah.
off. He's just been so off, and the
Tony
Raiders are
Tony
poopy.
Gibson. And Tony Gibson had a good game last against Tampa Bay. He had 2 touchdowns,
Yeah.
24 rush attempts, 64 yards. Uh, let's go Mark Andrews.
Okay.
Let's go alphabetically picking the best mark. All right. So that is all. You want to talk a
Sweet.
little bit of your picks? Do you have any questions? Anything you're not questions, but anything you're like hesitating on who to start? Are you confident on your picks?
Let me look at my team actually quickly. Oh yeah, well I was so I don't know whether to start Saquon Barkley or not. Um,
Is this in League
Saquon
of Nations?
Barkley. What'd you say?
League of Nations?
Yes,
Second tier.
Saquon Barkley or Donta Foreman. Now Saquon plays on Monday. So Chris Godwin and Saquon play on the same day. I doubt I would drop Godwin for Saquon unless I'm like winning by a ton and I just want to joke around. Um, but yeah, Donta Foreman, he's looked good. He's had the opportunities. Also, this is a revenge game against the Texans. Texans released him as a rookie. Um, so it is possible he's a decent pass catcher. Seems to be getting most of the volume in the Titans. Um, you know, Adrian Peterson hasn't really been the guy that we thought he was going to be, which is asking a lot for an old guy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Donta Foreman, Saquon Barkley. I just don't want to do it because Saquon Barkley's Monday. Um, so if I did drop Foreman for Barkley, it would just be like if Barkley ends up not running or running two yards or whatever, it'd be kind of stupid. So I think I'm gonna stick with Foreman on this one.
Yeah. I mean, sadly, you're up against the guy that hasn't even updated his team. He has two wide receivers out.
Oh really?
Yep.
Jesus Christ. Oh
So,
yeah, Robert Woods and Cooper. I mean those I you can't even replace those guys. Who's he got on the bench? Claypool, I don't think would do that well.
I mean, but you
And
still
Corey
put him.
Davis.
Like,
Oh yeah, of course, but I'm just
put
saying
Corey Davis
like
and Claypool.
trying to replace them is difficult. Yeah.
But yeah, you're in a predicament of like, you kind of have to make the decision now on whether Barkley's gonna play.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I think he plays, but do you want to put yourself in that position on Monday? Because on Monday, what do you do? You know,
Yeah, exactly.
if you put Foreman out,
Yeah.
then you're blocked because you can't. Yeah, you can't start anyone unless you drop like Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Damn, you're IR,
Although
man.
Cortland Sutton hasn't been that great, but yeah, I mean, I mean, Chris Carson, I'm on my way to drop as soon as that surgery is confirmed. He's got to go, unfortunately.
That's true.
Yeah, there's been a couple changes in the handicaps.
Well, I guess is Devonta Booker picked up?
Yeah, Devontae Booker is picked up by someone else, but like, I'm not gonna. I had him in the beginning. He's yeah. I mean, marking room seems to be better than him, and I think Donta Foreman's gonna have a decent enough game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. But yeah, we have 15 minutes till it starts.
All right.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my teams real quick. I think I made the right calls. Freaking Kamara, man.
Yeah. Well, good for me, bad for you.
Yeah, just because I have him in another league as well. But
Oh really? Oh, you're Kamar heavy.
yeah, and I'm Derrick Henry on the last one. So
Nice.
I
Yeah.
share your sentiment there. I have, man, I would have had a killer team. I'd have Najee Harris and Derrick Henry,
Nice.
Keenan Allen. Oh, and then Damon Harris in my flex, and then I'd have Keenan Allen and Julio Jones. Julio Jones also
Yeah.
IR. So
Yeah.
I am screwed. So yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully for the best here. So we'll see. All right, well let's call it there.
Sweet.
Let's go get ready for some Fujibal. I mean
Yep.
NFL. Fujibal sounds more like soccer. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. That one viewer, whoever you are, love you, my dude. Um, And yeah, we'll see you guys back on Thursday. I'm thinking I might do a quick vid on Formula One with these
Yeah,
last two
do it.
races going. So,
Yeah.
and hopefully these other two do a Premier League
Yeah.
like they claim. So I'm
For
put
3 weeks now.
I'm outing them. I'm putting it out there live. Um, and I'll see you in Verdansk, my man.
Yeah, yeah. Or hopefully the new Warzone whenever that comes out.
Oh my goodness.